I remember my first attempt speaking English publicly. My hands were shaking, my voice cracked, and people's laughter felt louder than my actual words.
That laughter can cut deeply because when learners speak English, they expose confidence, effort, dreams, and fear all at once in front of others.
Exactly. And people forget language learning is not talent. It is practice, mistakes, courage, and many uncomfortable moments before confidence slowly grows.
When someone laughs, it often reflects their insecurity, not your failure. But at that moment, learners rarely understand this emotional truth.
I almost stopped speaking English forever that day because embarrassment convinced me I was not smart enough to improve or succeed.
Many students messaged me saying the same thing, that one painful laugh destroyed months of motivation and made them silent again.
Silence feels safer, but it also traps progress because language grows only when sound leaves your mouth. Imperfect and sometimes awkward.
I always tell my students, mistakes are proof you are trying, while silence only proves fear has won temporarily.
Still, Altaf, how do we convince learners emotionally, not logically, that laughter should not define their self-worth?
By sharing stories like this, because when learners realize others survived worse embarrassment, their pain feels shared, lighter, and manageable.
That shared pain creates connection, and connection slowly replaces shame with understanding, especially when learners hear teachers admit past failures.
I was laughed at too during an interview when my pronunciation failed and I felt my future collapse in seconds.
Hearing that from a fluent speaker surprises people because they imagine confident English speakers were always confident.
Confidence is built from broken sentences, confused faces, corrections, and repeated attempts, not from perfection or instant fluency.
When people laugh, learners often assume everyone understands English perfectly except them, which is rarely true.
Absolutely. Many fluent looking people hide their own language struggles, but they laugh to protect their fragile image.
So laughter becomes a shield for some, while becoming a wound for learners who are already vulnerable.
That is why learning environments matter, because supportive spaces turn mistakes into lessons, not scars that discourage speaking.
Sadly, not everyone learns in supportive spaces, especially in offices, schools, or families where mockery feels normal.
In those places, learners must develop inner strength, reminding themselves why they started learning English initially.
Purpose can heal embarrassment because when goals are clear, temporary pain feels smaller than long-term success.
I ask students, do you want comfort today or confidence tomorrow? Because you cannot always choose both.
That question hurts, but it is honest because growth often demands choosing discomfort again and again.
Each laugh you survive strengthens resilience, and eventually laughter loses power when confidence becomes louder.
But Altaf, beginners need practical steps, not only motivation to recover after being laughed at.
First, breathe and pause. Then remind yourself mistakes are normal, then continue speaking calmly, showing courage despite embarrassment.
Continuing after laughter sends a powerful message to your brain that you are stronger than fear.
Exactly. And every time you continue, fear weakens because your mind learns embarrassment is survivable.
Another helpful step is practicing with safe people who correct kindly instead of mocking publicly.
Safe practice builds confidence faster, preparing learners emotionally for unsafe environments they cannot always avoid.
I also advise learners to record themselves speaking because self-listening reduces fear of others' reactions.
Yes, when learners hear their own mistakes privately, public corrections feel less shocking and less painful.
Sometimes laughter comes from misunderstanding accents, which is unfair because accents reflect identity, not intelligence.
I proudly tell students accents are proof of multilingual ability, not weakness, and accents fade naturally with exposure.
Unfortunately, society rewards fluency without acknowledging effort, which creates unrealistic expectations for learners.
That is why teachers must normalize struggle, showing progress timelines instead of highlighting only fluent success stories.
When learners see realistic journeys, they feel less alone and less ashamed of slow improvement.
Shame is the biggest enemy of language learning because it silences practice and kills curiosity.
Curiosity disappears when fear dominates, and laughter feeds fear faster than any grammar mistake.
To fight fear, learners should focus on communication, not perfection, because meaning matters more than accuracy initially.
When communication succeeds, confidence grows, even if grammar and pronunciation remain imperfect.
I often say, broken English spoken confidently is better than perfect English locked inside fear.
That sentence itself can heal many hearts who stopped speaking after one humiliating experience.
Learners must forgive themselves quickly because holding embarrassment too long delays recovery and progress.
Forgiveness allows learners to reframe laughter as feedback noise, not a personal judgment.
Exactly, and sometimes laughter is nervous or surprised, not cruel, though it still hurts.
Assuming neutral intentions can reduce emotional damage, even when reactions feel negative initially.
But even if laughter is cruel, success becomes the best response because improvement silences critics naturally.
Success achieved through persistence feels sweeter when you remember the moment people doubted you.
Those painful memories later become motivational fuel, reminding learners how far they have traveled.
I now smile when I recall being laughed at, because that moment did not stop me.
And your story proves that embarrassment is not the end, but often the beginning of serious growth.
So if someone watching experienced laughter today, what single message should they remember tonight?
Remember this: if you stop speaking, laughter wins, but if you continue, you eventually win.
That message deserves repeating because learners need reminders during their weakest emotional moments.
I encourage viewers to speak tomorrow again, even one sentence, proving fear did not defeat them.
Small victories rebuild confidence slowly, replacing shame with pride and renewed motivation.
Learning English is not only linguistic, it is emotional training, building courage, patience, and resilience together.
And those emotional skills help far beyond English, influencing careers, relationships, and self-belief.
So laughter becomes a teacher, not an enemy, shaping stronger communicators and braver individuals.
I love that perspective because it transforms pain into purpose and discouragement into determination.
To everyone listening, your voice matters, even when it shakes, even when words come out wrong.
Speak anyway, because silence teaches nothing, but speaking teaches everything gradually.
One day, you will speak confidently, and someone else will fear laughter, needing your encouragement.
And when that day comes, remember how laughter felt and choose kindness over mockery.
That kindness creates a healthier learning world where effort is respected more than perfection.
So this podcast is not just about English, but about courage to be seen while learning.
Exactly, and courage grows only when tested, never when hidden safely.
I hope learners listening feel understood, supported, and motivated to try again tomorrow.
If they do, then every painful laugh they face already served a powerful purpose.
Because they are still here, still listening, still dreaming of fluent, confident English.
And that persistence proves they are stronger than any laughter they ever heard.
Sometimes learners ask whether confidence truly returns, or if embarrassment leaves permanent scars that never fully heal inside the mind.
From my experience, confidence returns stronger because surviving embarrassment rewires the brain to tolerate risk and rejection better.